Disney just intentionally sabotaged their newest movie, and nobody is talking about it. I would bet money that most of you didn't even know that Disney Pixar just released a brand new movie last weekend. Well, for those of you wondering, the other day they finally released a movie called Elio. Elio is a film that's been going through a lot of struggles lately, with its biggest one right now being, as you can imagine, not doing so well at the box office, with it breaking records as Pixar's lowest opening weekend of all time, with the movie on track to lose even more money as well. And it's all thanks to Disney and Pixar's biggest problem that essentially sabotaged this movie before it even released. But how did this happen? How did the pioneers of modern animation in Pixar fall this badly? And how exactly is it all their own fault? Hey guys, it's the Pinking here, and today we need to talk about Elio. Disney Pixar's newest film is about a boy called Elio who is struggling with the recent passing of his parents and living with his aunt. He's a kid who has a hard time fitting in and just wants to find a place where he belongs. So, when alien life is discovered, Elio manages to get in contact with them and ends up being taken to where they are and finds himself in the middle of a large intergalactic conflict, which he must find a way to bring peace to. For those of you who didn't see my last video, I was on vacation when this movie came out, so I just got back today, and no joke, the first thing I did was go see this movie, because, you know, it's Pixar. They are must-watches for animation fans. But as you might have known, they've been coming under a lot of stress recently, with a lot of layoffs happening, as well as a lot of their movies, apart from Inside Out 2, bombing at the box office. And well, this recent trend is certainly no accident. Now, before I get onto what I mean, how was the movie? Well, Elio was a very charming movie, but isn't one of Pixar's best. Look, Elio was a movie that for the most part is pretty safe. It's not bad, but there's nothing really incredible either. There's nothing of Pixar quality in here. It's good, but not Pixar good. There were a lot of elements I enjoyed. Heck, I can see how some of these ideas here could have been really compelling if handled in a smoother way. Like Elio's friend Glordon. He was a very surprising goofball who's easy to enjoy and get attached to, but his relationship to his father felt kind of non-existent and rushed. So the climax just doesn't hit as strong as it probably should, because they don't really show us enough to form an investment into these characters' relationships. Overall, it's a pretty average movie. It's fun, charming, and something a lot of kids would enjoy if they actually went to see it. Yeah, now we need to discuss the elephant in the room. It really seems like nobody cares about Elio, and in particular, Pixar's new ideas anymore. Almost nobody is talking about this movie, despite it being brought to us by the largest animation studio in the world. Why is that? Well, that's when things get a bit murky. From what I've seen, Disney have been intentionally sabotaging this movie in order to justify making more franchises. Let me explain. Disney's recent catalogue has been so weak recently, with a constant pattern of desperate attempts at franchising, like remakes for an example. 10 years ago, Disney remakes was something special because they were a retelling of their older movies with a new spin to it. Plus, we'd only ever get 1 or 2 movies a year. But now, remakes have become their MO, with now up to 3 to 4 remakes a year. And it's gotten to a point now that they're remaking some of their more recent movies. Like, they're seriously making a Moana remake at the same time of making another sequel to Moana. You heard me right, they're making a remake to a franchise that's still ongoing. And let's not forget the quality of these movies, man. When it first started out as an attempt to put a new spin to these old stories. Now, they're a cheap clone with horrific changes that ruin the stories they were trying to tell. Why are they doing this? Well, it's easy to explain. Because it makes money. Why spend money on an original movie that's not guaranteed to succeed when you can remake the same movies you've already done before that you know will succeed because apparently people are blinded by the nostalgia over quality. You want proof that they care more about remakes than the original movies? Just look at how they market each movie. The Lilo and Stitch remake was everywhere, in car ads, billboards, posters. Disney were going all in on the Lilo and Stitch remake. Heck, they were basically copying the same marketing strategy as the original movie but on a bigger scale. Then you look at Elio, a couple of trailers, and nothing else. It was almost like Disney completely forgot this movie even existed, and so instead of trying to push this movie and give it a chance, they instead decided to neglect it completely. Now you might be asking yourself, why would they do this? Surely they'd want all their movies to succeed, right? Well, not necessarily. You see, Disney intentionally sabotaged this movie, and heck, even Pixar films in general, for a while now, with less and less promotion to the studio's movies unless they're already a part of a major franchise, like Toy Story. Or if you want to go back, let's take a look at during the pandemic, when Pixar movies were dropped straight onto Disney+, but Disney kept their own original movies in theaters. Disney are actively trying to undermine and sabotage Pixar. If they can make Pixar seem insignificant to the general audience, then more people will go see their remakes, sequels, and TV shows instead of anything new. In their eyes, it's a temporary failure for a more financial success in the future. Why are they doing this? Because it would be easier. Why waste so much time trying to make something original when you can just keep recycling the same things over and over again for even more profit? They're trying to solidify the narrative that audiences don't want original films, and instead only want stuff that's familiar. Hence why they barely put any effort into getting their newer movies out there. And Elio is just their latest victim to Disney's greed. Heck, it's so bad that Pixar are now steering towards the more sequel route instead of experimenting more, because Disney have forced them to do so in order to stay alive. Hence why we're getting stuff like Toy Story 5 or Incredibles 3, despite not needing them. Their end goal is to spend as little money as possible in order to make as much back as they can, and in doing so, this comes at the cost of creativity and true value in their movies. They are no longer art to them, they are merely products, made to be sold and shipped off. It's like McDonald's. Why spend time crafting a delicious meal when you could just throw together some greasy fast food and get more profit? It's a greedy and corporate strategy that if Walt Disney himself saw today would probably be disgusted by. Because movies are not cheap products, they can be used to inspire, tell complex stories, breathe new life into genres. They can be something bigger if only they are allowed to be. But sadly, we are going down a road that's pretty bleak. So if you take anything away from this video, take this. Watch original movies. Whether good or bad, try them out. Show these studios that you will not be so easily tricked by their cheap gimmicks. Show them that you deserve better. We deserve better. Cinema deserves better. But what do you guys think? Are you on a similar wavelength to me, or are we differing in opinions here? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more content just like this, then be sure to subscribe. I'm trying to get 15,000 subscribers before the end of August, and we are just so close to reaching that goal. And with your help, we can definitely achieve that. But with that, peeps, it's been the Pink King here, and I will see you all next time.